If you're listening to this, I need you to understand something. This isn't just a story to scare you before bed. This is a warning. Because some jobs aren't worth the paycheck, and some buildings are more than just bricks and steel. I worked security on the night shift at a warehouse. Isolated, freezing, endless. They gave me a set of rules to survive the night. Rules I thought were a joke, until I realized they were the only thing keeping me alive. Now I'm going to tell you everything I saw. And if you're smart, you'll never step inside that place, not at night, not ever. It started in the middle of winter. Snow covered everything, the streets, the roofs, the empty fields that stretched forever. The warehouse sat at the very edge of town, where no one lived, where no cars passed after dark. The roads leading to it were always silent, the kind of silence that made you realize just how far you were from anyone else. I needed the money, and the night shift paid double. That was the only reason I said yes. When I arrived, the building towered over me. Gray, windowless walls. A single flickering light above the main door. The parking lot was empty, my car the only one there. I remember thinking, this place doesn't want me here. Inside, the supervisor didn't waste time. He was pale, tired, his eyes bloodshot like he hadn't slept in years. He handed me a keyring and a laminated card. The card had 7 rules printed in faded ink. He didn't smile. Didn't joke. Just said, follow these. And don't ask questions. You'll be fine. And then, he left. Before the sun even set. I stood there, alone, clutching those rules in my hand, wondering what kind of warehouse needed instructions like this. The warehouse swallowed me as soon as the door closed. Rows upon rows of towering shelves stretched into darkness. Boxes stacked so high they nearly touched the buzzing fluorescent lights. The air was stale, cold, filled with the scent of old cardboard and dust. Every step echoed, bouncing back like someone else was walking just behind me. For the first hour, it was boring. I patrolled the aisles, checked the padlocks on the exits, glanced at the cameras. The monitors showed nothing but still aisles and humming lights. But then, the lights above me flickered. Once. Twice. 3 times. I tilted my head to look up, then froze. The first rule burned in my mind. If the lights flicker more than 3 times, don't look up. I stopped myself. My neck locked stiff. And even though I kept my eyes forward, I swear, I heard something crawling in the ceiling above me. Nails scratching metal. Slow. Waiting. That was the first time I realized the rules weren't a joke. As the nights went on, I learned the hard way why those rules existed. I avoided it at first. But on the second night, I had to walk past it. The moment I stepped in, the air dropped 10 degrees colder. My breath fogged in front of me. And then I heard it. Mark. A whisper. Low. Slithering. From somewhere between the boxes. I froze. It was my name. Not just the first, my full name. The rule came back to me, if you hear someone whisper your name, do not respond. I bit my tongue. My body screamed to answer, to say hello? But I stayed silent. The whisper grew angrier. Harsher. The boxes rattled violently, like something was pushing from inside. I kept walking, each step heavier than the last. Behind me, the whisper turned into a hiss. A sound that didn't belong to anything human. The monitors. On the third night, I sat in the control room, staring at the glowing wall of screens. One by one, they showed the aisles, empty and silent. Then, on the bottom left screen, I saw myself. Not sitting in the chair, but standing in the far aisle, staring directly at the camera. My throat tightened. I turned in my chair to look behind me, but the room was empty. When I turned back, that version of me on the monitor tilted its head, slowly, like it knew I was watching. The rule echoed in my skull: if you see yourself on the monitor, leave the room immediately. I didn't think twice. I bolted. Slammed the control room door behind me. When I finally returned hours later, that screen was static. By the fourth night, exhaustion dragged me down. Around 2:30 a.m., I went to the break room for coffee. As soon as I stepped in, the machine whirred to life on its own. Black coffee dripped into a cup. I hadn't touched it. Then, a sound. Behind me. The delicate clink of a spoon stirring in a cup. Slow. Steady. Clink. 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 My body went rigid. I didn't turn around. The rule was clear: never make coffee after 2:33 a.m. If you hear someone stirring, don't look back. I walked out, every step heavy, the clinking sound following me until the door shut. Another night, around 4 a.m., I heard it. Knock. 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 At the main entrance. I froze. The knock came again, louder. It's your supervisor. Let me in. But the rule burned in my head: the supervisor never comes at night. My hand hovered over the lock. My gut twisted. Then the voice shifted. It dropped deeper. More guttural. Let me in. Something scraped against the metal, long nails dragging across it. I backed away. Whatever stood out there wasn't human. By the fifth night, I was unraveling. Walking the aisles, I started seeing shadows dart between the boxes. Small, hunched figures. Tall, stretched ones crawling along the ceiling. They never came close, not yet. Until one moment, when I noticed something wrong. My shadow was gone. I looked down. The fluorescent light above me stretched shadows of the shelves, the boxes, but not me. The rule came back sharp: if your shadow disappears, it means something else has taken your place. I don't know what that meant. And I didn't want to find out. I ran, boots slamming against the concrete floor, until I locked myself in the control room. My last shift began like the others. Cold. Silent. But something felt different. The warehouse wasn't just watching anymore. It was waiting. By 3 a.m., everything happened at once. The lights flickered non-stop, begging me to look up. Aisle 7 erupted in rattling boxes, whispers screaming my name. Every monitor filled with static except one, showing me walking toward the exit, even though I sat in the control room. The emergency exit at the far end groaned open on its own. A howling wind tore through the aisles. And then, silence. My watch read 5:59 a.m. One more minute. Just 60 seconds. The lights went out. Pitch black swallowed everything. My heartbeat thundered in my ears. Then I heard them, all at once. The spoon is stirring. The knocking at the door. The whispers are calling my name. The sound of footsteps circling me, closer and closer. My watch buzzed. 6 a.m. I didn't hesitate. I ran. Through the blackness, through the aisles, shoving the main door open with every ounce of strength. Cold night air hit my face. Relief surged, until I looked at the sky. It wasn't morning. No sun. No dawn. Just endless, starless night. But I ran anyway. Into the dark. Into nothing. I didn't look back. If you ever get offered a job like this, and they hand you a card of rules, walk away. Don't take it. Because once the warehouse learns your name, the rules can only protect you for so long. I left that place. But even now, when the lights in my apartment flicker, I don't dare look up.